Are we back? We're back. Okay, well, I just turned the computer back on, and I walked away. I took the dog for a walk. It kept glitching out, and I'm trying to record Genesis aloud, reading it aloud in William Tyndale's original English version. In a prior episode, I'd said in Hebrew and I couldn't think of the other language, but of course it's Latin and Hebrew. Latin being the only or the predominant language of the Roman Empire, and the Vatican is the only place that has Latin as their official language right now. So we've been talking about that. And before I try to read more from the Bible, I would like to first turn off this stereo, because I've never quite learned how to like opera, but so far I'll just turn it off. But while I was walking the dog, or as I was walking away to walk the dog, I was thinking about recording today. Today is the Sabbath, Saturday, and yesterday at sundown, Friday evening at sundown, the 24th, I decided to try to observe the Sabbath because I never knew the importance or significance of it. I really still don't, but I've heard that it was important and it was kept, and it was a covenant or commandment of God, or an understanding that we would hold the Sabbath to show our appreciation and respect and love for the creating Father of all there is. And I guess, like everything else, it's been undermined and corrupted and downplayed and so on. So I'm sure many of us that never looked into it don't know what the real truth of the matter is. So I'm going to look into it further, I hope, at some point. But for now, as a scientist, I thought, well, let's just run the experiment. No harm done. I can probably make it 24 hours if I just drink water and breathe and don't work and try and hold in my mind a communion with God. So the question became, is the computer glitching out because I'm actually working by recording this? I'm trying to... First, I started by deciding to read the Bible, and then I decided to research the history of the Bible to see about the original translations, and that led me to William Tyndale. And I looked for that and found it and downloaded it, and then I looked for the King James Version and downloaded that because that's available too, and decided, because Wycliffe, or Tyndale, I keep saying Wycliffe, I gotta see how that has made an association in my mind, but King James and Tyndale compared well because King James is easier to read for a modern English speaker, and Tyndale is very old Englishy, Shakespeare plus. So comparing them helps understand it, and then as you do it more, you get familiar with how the words are, like metis, meats, or meetis means food, as far as I can tell. And so you get more familiar with the Tyndale translation, and as you go forward, you can read it more easily. So let's see if we can do it. The question is, I'm trying to serve God, and by reading this, share something with other people that I'm not very familiar with, because I've only really read the King James once, cover to cover, if you will, but some of the long lists of names are hard to go through and have it mean anything to me, because I don't know them, and I'm not familiar even with those names in our time. So let me try and open both formats and read them aloud and finish the thought. I'm going to finish this video right now. It's an introduction back into, can I record on the Sabbath without offending God? Because I don't want to offend God. I want to, one, learn the message better for myself and share that learning as I discover things with others and maybe, together discover and learn more about what is obviously a very important message because of its duration and its impact on the human population. So it's worth looking into just on that basis alone. So I'm going to, and if anybody else wants to go along with me, they can. And right now I'm running an experiment to see if I can do that on Saturday, which I'll have free time. If I observe Saturday, it would make sense to do this to serve God by doing this. And that way I'm not working, but I'm not trying to prosper for myself. I'm trying to share a message that I'd like to learn more about as well. So with that said, I'm going to hit finish, but the final thought was I had been playing videos I had been watching about the Jesuits on YouTube, and perhaps mixing that message with the written and spoken word of God through the Bible does not mesh well, so I shouldn't try and do that. That was my thinking while walking the dog. I'll just read the word and not mess with the other stuff. I don't, if those people, even if they're Reformed Christians today or before they died, they may still, they definitely participated in evil throughout their life. They say that themselves, so I'll leave it to them and God to how they reform and how they get right with God. But it always leaves their message open to question, and I don't think I should mix it with the written word. And so, God willing, on Saturday, today, the 25th, I'll continue to read and record, but I won't talk about that and I won't show that. And let's see how that works. And you can experiment with me while I try it. I'm going to hit finish and publish this one. So far, no glitch.